Okay, I'm out here again. I'm working on, got all the glass off now. I got a couple hours in already. But I'm using my grinder and I'm fixing this edge up for the window. So I'm gonna go around here and get this ready so I can make the Lexan window it's gonna go in. I got the visor taken off. I got the air valence, the air dam taken off. I'm working on this window, and I got these exhaust pipes and bins. Got to do some work to it, but I'll be able to mount my heater box lines to it and come in here and drill holes for the defroster. But I need to cut all these off this edge and then get this to fit up there real nice. And I may have to, before I can do the heater box, actually make the front window so I can weld the nuts so that I have enough that doesn't strip out. Like if you just sheet metal screw it, it could strip and then you couldn't fix the window from leaking. So we're probably going to make the window first, bolt it on, and get all the holes done, and then tack all the nuts on the inside. And then the nuts that are behind these heater box tubes that I'm going to make, they'll be welded in. Even though leaking down here probably won't matter as much, tacking all those probably be okay. So anyway, I'm messing with this nasty glue they put on the butyl. So I'm gonna get all this cleaned up now, and then I'll probably put cardboard in and make the window. Okay, so the window edge is all cleaned up now, all the way around. I vacuumed up the mess that I made. So now I need to come in here, and these were for the factory dash bolt on. So I'm going to come in along this edge, cut them all off, because I really want that. I want to see if I can get that tube up there and weld it and then build the dash off of it. So I'm going to cut these factory mounts off. I was hoping that the Dakota dash was steel, had like the inside ribbing was steel, and I could bolt it back on and then scab the dash together. But the part that bolts onto here is plastic, so I can't do that. So we're just going to start over, and it's either going to be welded in solid or after the exhaust tubes put in for the defroster, it'll be able to bolt. We'll find out later. So I got those cut out. It's just rough right now, but I'll be able to run that exhaust tube and drill holes in it for a defroster. So I want to weld that tube in. If I do that, I'm not going to be able to get to anything on the back. So I think I need to make the window and get all the holes drilled through it and weld nuts. And then, because this isn't really that thick, and I'd like to be able to really pull the window down. Silicone will do a lot, but I think I gotta do the window before I can do the defroster. So well, I'm gonna make the window now, and then when I get it done, I'll unbolt it back out. I got this big piece of cardboard. I cut it in half because it's not really long enough to go all the way across. And we're gonna tape it together, and we're gonna make that out of cardboard. And then we're going to transfer it over to Lexan. Then we're going to put the Lexan up there, and we're going to figure out how we're going to put our holes and drill them. So I've chunked that big piece of cardboard down to where it's oversized, and I'm going to start trying to fit that bottom edge first, work my way, and then work this side, and I'll start trimming the top. Alright, I got the bottom edge fitted, and then I work my way up the pillar. Now I go across the top, and I'll see if I can just mirror the other side off this piece and make marks and tape it, and then we'll transfer it onto Lexan. We're going to drill our holes through the Lexan, so if they're off just a little bit, we'll always have that first window as a template, you know, a waste piece. We can always just remake it real easy. Alright, so I got the top edge fitted in there. We're going to whack it off because it gets a little out of hand. We're going to whack it off, and hopefully we can just flip it over and it matches the other side, and it does. Then we'll transfer this piece onto another and lay them over each other. So I laid out here for the second piece. We cut out of cardboard, and we'll go over there and we'll fit it to that other pillar, and then we should be ready to mark them together and make the Lexan. Alright, so both pieces of the cardboard and I got them taped together in the middle, and I've slowly, you know, trimmed my way. So now we're gonna put this over on the Lexan. Luckily, work decided they wanted to throw some away, so I got some 1/4 inch and got a bunch of sheets here. So we're going to take one of these old sheets, and we're going to make us a front window with that cardboard template. So I've used a marker. I translated, you know, that window shape that we need onto this piece of Lexan, and we're going to cut it out now, and it just uses a jigsaw. It's really easy to do, you know, just a normal jigsaw, and we'll cut it out and then put it up there and start making the holes for the window. Alright, I put a little tape just so it doesn't scratch it up. You get this stuff new and it comes with a film on it. But it's really easy to do. It just goes in there and cuts it. And you just sand it with a grinder. I got the oscillation on the highest setting, so that thing is like cutting. And anyway, I'm going to keep cutting it out, and then we'll use a grinder with a flap disc to fit it the rest of the way into the hole up there. So I got the windshield fitted, but I'm slowly taking the sanding wheel, and you see how I had to take and trim that lip edge so it would sit flush. But you see I'm just marking and taking, so like if I push this down right here, you can see it pop up. So I've got it marked here to make some clearance with that sander. I just keep fitting it till it's going to fit really nice to bolt down, and I'm just working it right now, and then we'll start drilling from the center and putting bolts in every 3 inches. And then once we get it all pulled down with all the bolts, I'll take the glass off, put all the bolts back in, weld the nuts on the back side. Alright, I got all my fitting done. It's real tight up on the top. I just got a very small deflection in the bottom corners. It's gonna bow a little bit, but you know, the wipers on there, it'll be nice and tight, and The top is what matters the most, not leaking. The silicone is going to do a lot when I go to glue it down. But what I did is I found approximately the middle, and I went every 3 inches, and I got a spot to drill for a bolt. What we're going to do is drill the middle, top, bottom, top, bottom, top, bottom, and then after that we'll bolt across each way and get them all the holes drilled and the Lexan ready for the and then we'll take it off and we'll put all the bolts back in and weld all the nuts in the backside and run a tap through them if we have to. Once that's done, we can bolt the back window back on and just look at it, and it'll be done. And this will be like probably going to be a waste piece. I mean, I can polish it and everything and use it if I really want to. It really isn't that bad of a window, but I can use this as a template and put a nice finished piece in, and even colored if I wanted or something later. But we need to get this in so that I can get the defroster stuff done, because I want to weld those defroster tubes in. Alright, so I'm going to start drilling holes now. Alright, I had my wife come out, hold the nuts on the inside, and I drilled. Same thing went that way. And I got the window all ready. It's all bolted. And it can be siliconed in, but what I need to do now is, she quit on me, so I gotta try to see if I can enlist the kid. I need to take it all back out and then come in here and weld all these nuts on the inside, because when my defroster gets welded in, you won't be able to get to any of those nuts on the backside on the bottom. So I guess I could take a chance, because this is just a, I could waste this window and not care about it. But anyway, she's in here now. If I take the time, 30 minutes or whatever, take it all apart and weld all these nuts, let it cool down, maybe grind the paint off so the nuts stick, because they're really going to suck not being able to get, I can't get to those if the welds break. So I need to weld them really good, and then I can put those tubes in that I got for the defrosters and weld it, and then build the dash off of that. I'm going to come in and drill holes down these exhaust tubes to defrost up on that window. So, alright, I need to get these welded. Let me see if I can enlist some help. Alright, I was able to get the window out by myself, and I got all the bolts put back in. Now I'm going to go inside and I'm going to weld the nuts on the inside, and hopefully it all goes well. And then I'll pull the bolts out, put the window back in, and bolt down. Alright, so I got all the nuts welded all the way around, and reason why I had to do that is when I go to put, these are going to get welded in, and there's going to be 2 of these. The center will probably be a U, and heater box go in there like this, and then go up to those defroster pipes. So I needed all these nuts welded, so I welded them all, and then I ran a tap through everything, and I got the window bolted on now. It needs cleaned a little bit, a little dirty, but so it's bolted on there. That light kind of sucks. So it's all bolted. Quarter 20 bolts. So it's not actually done, but it's to the point where I can take it out now and put the defroster and the dash and that in. What's left to do is there'll be 4-piece trim ring, so the corners, it might be 6 pieces, so, but anyway, there may be just one full piece, but there'll be a trim ring that goes around here, and the way it'll fix on is between these 2 bolts there won't be a washer, but there'll be a metal plate that comes up and down and under, and just sheet metal screws will hold that trim ring on, so you won't see any of these bolts. And you know, I still got the valance to put back on and the air dam. The air dam doesn't cover this, but you know, I could build the air dam up to cover the bottom part, and then the upper part, you know, the valance cover these, and then only have to make the trim to cover. But it'll be real easy. It's just, I'll bend a piece of metal up over, and then, you know, it'll be captured with some sheet metal screws. So I got the front windshield in, and I'm able to move forward in the cab. Now that I got them bolts welded on, and the nuts welded on inside, I'll be able to put those defroster tubes in, and then after the defroster tubes, the dash. You know, I need to put the defroster. Defroster is the next thing to do. Defroster and then the air vent. But this is a good step, and anyway, have a nice day. So I just laid the visor on and laid that air dam piece in. So I mean, I can always run this up and cover the whole bottom, and let that visor cover the top, and then I'd only have to make, you know, maybe a piece here that stood up so you could put a Phillips screw in it, and then up here, and then I could have a piece that covers these bolts, and then you know, there's trim pieces that go on there, and you never see any of the bolts. So that's what's going to take to finish it, you know, when it gets all done. So I can make, you know, a piece that goes, and then, you know, the metal stamp, you know, like a stamping piece, it comes up, have a nut in it, go down and under this bolt, so that you put that trim piece over there and screw it on, and front window done. So now I got that piece of Lexan made, I can take it off and start working inside the cab. So need to get done. It's not going to stay on there very long right now, and then later it'll get glued, you know, we'll silicone and then bolt it down. And anyway, hope you like this kind of stuff. Later. Bye.